the largest law enforcement agency, not just in the country, but in the world, was defeated by one man. This man right here, Sean Paul Reyes from Long Island Audit, defeated on the front of transparency and accountability. The New York Police Department was established in 1845, has over 36,000 officers and about 19,000 non-sworn, non-officer employees. Biggest law enforcement, most corrupt law enforcement agency, and the biggest one in the world. How do we know it's corrupt? From the Knapp Commission back in the 1970s and from the Mullen Commission in 1994. They basically established that, hey, remember the Knapp Commission? The Mullen Commission said, hey, remember the Knapp Commission back in the 1970s? The corruption they had back then? It's way worse now. 1994 was what, almost 30 years ago, 29 years ago? How much worse has it gotten since then? Well, we know it's gotten pretty bad because you are not, up until just a couple days ago, when Sean Paul Reyes won his lawsuit against the New York Police Department, you're not allowed to record in any precinct anywhere in New York City. What this cop right here is holding is a copy of Sean Paul Reyes' win over the New York City Police Department. We're gonna read some of this, but I just want to roll some video real quick showing you why this had to take place. You have got law enforcement agents who are supposed to be there serving and protecting. They do nothing more than harass and collect. And as Americans walk into precincts all across New York City, they have been attacked, they've been brutalized, they've been arrested, they've been handcuffed, they've been caged. Why? Because they were committing crimes? No, because they were standing on their unalienable right to be the free press. That's why they were treated that way by the New York City Police Department. So let me show you this video right here. This is from Eli, which of course is the people's guy. Eli and Good Guy Audits, which is now Good Guy Activism, went to, I think this is the 23rd precinct, to watch the cops take the signs down. And I'm telling you, these cops aren't taking their signs down willingly. They didn't just wake up one morning and go, you know what? We're doing the people wrong. We're committing a grave injustice. We're being hypocrites. We go on the news and we tell people how transparent we are and how interested in justice we are and how we're here to champion the cause of your rights, but we're acting in the exact opposite way when we tell them they can't record in our lobby. So this is them grudgingly taking these signs down. This is just one example in the 23rd precinct.
This is history. You heard? Making history, my mate. You just told me not to record.
Look, she is not happy at all. She just gave him a command that violated the law of the land, not just the right to record law, but now a judge has declared, hey, you got to take these signs down. It's ridiculous. You're actually acting as an agency that's operating in an antithetical manner to the freedom of press.
Stop playing with me, man. I'm the happiest man on earth today, you heard?
Take care of the community's concerns.
You happy I'm happy?
Let them know.
Nah, he don't give a fuck. My piece, screen recorders, worldwide. Shout out to all the auditors out there that been down, my piece. Shout out to LIA for doing what he did.
Look at this. Members of the public are prohibited from audio and video recording or photography inside this facility. In other words, members of the public, Americans, are not free to exercise their constitutionally protected rights in a precinct that's supposed to be protecting your constitutionally protected rights.
Shout out to all of you for doing what y'all do. Thank you for the people, for making complaints, for sending emails, calling the precincts. That's love. This is the power of the people. I didn't do this, my peeps. Y'all did this shit. Woo! Woo! God bless you.
So prior to this, what was happening in those precincts? Well, this is what was happening to people like Sean Paul Reyes in the 75th precinct.
You can't record in here, you gotta leave. Members of the public are prohibited from recording inside here.
For what? And that's just this right here, that's just an order follower. He's telling you what he's been told to tell you. Instead of taking a moral stand and going, you know what? I don't care what that sign says. As a police officer, I swore to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, and I'll be damned if I become the very domestic enemy I swore to protect you from. So I don't care what this sign says. Come on in and record. All we're about is transparency and accountability. But no, that's not what this guy does, because he's an order follower. Order followers are the conduit. They're the tunnel. They're the tube. They're the pipeline through which most evil, if not all evil in the world, has entered.
For what?
You can't record inside the building.
Don't touch
All right,
me.
so step out the facility. All right, so step out the facility.
Hey, get off of me.
All right.
Imagine this. Imagine you doing to them what they're doing to Sean Paul Reyes here. You would be taken down ASAP. You would be arrested. The torture cuffs would be on you. They'd have their tasers and maybe even their guns out. They'd sick the dog on people for less than what they're doing to Sean Paul Reyes. If you dare touch a cop, you are going down. This image right here proves that cops believe that they have a higher claim over your life and property than you. Look at this hand. Look at this hand on him. Is this not ridiculous? Is this not unconscionable? Is this not immoral? If it's not, I don't know what is.
Now we can talk.
Step back. Don't push me. Don't touch me. What are you pushing on me for? What's wrong with you?
It's a crime to be filming inside of a police station.
Wrong. That sign is not a law. It's not.
It's a law in this building.
This policy is illegal. It violates the First Amendment. It violates the New York State Right to Record Act.
Let me just point something out. For them to get to this point, and Sean Paul Reyes to get to this point where he's standing in front of this Capitol building with his lawyer, he had to go through some pretty serious trials. His life had to be threatened. He had to be gravely inconvenienced, taken away from his family, thrown into a cage for how many days did he have to go to jail? Cumulatively? All for just being an American, standing on American soil in a public place, exercising your constitutionally protected right. Is the Constitution not the supreme law of the land anymore? Not in the minds of badge law enforcers.
It violates the Municipal Right to Record Act. And as for the NYPD, we will see you in court.
Ordering the NYPD to remove their unlawful signage and to allow every single one of us, we the people, to record inside of the precinct. We did it. We effected change. We did it, ladies and gentlemen. The sign has been removed.
You know, this is quite the milestone. And you know what I'm not seeing? I'm not seeing the trolling type channels that call auditors frauditors. I'm not seeing them saying anything about this. You know, they can't stand this. They can't stand that this was an objective win by we the people over a tyrannical NYPD. And that's exactly what this is. This is tyranny. This is using force. This is using your authority. This is using your privilege as a badged clown law enforcer to put somebody else down. And I don't see any of these frauditor trolling channels talking about, hey, this is great. This is a win for America. This is a win for transparency. It's vital that we bring accountability to these men with guns who think that they're better than us. Nope, none of that. It's all absent from their channels.
There is no...
This is a win. You know what? You know what's so ironic about this? And you think about it and you you start boiling. This is a win on behalf of the trolling channels who are claiming that people like Sean Paul Reyes and other channels are frauditors. Oh, you're a fraud. Oh, yeah. Well, guess what this fraud just did? This fraud just pushed back the troops of tyranny and carved out a little bit more freedom for the people who are sitting there criticizing.
Longer a sign here saying that we cannot record inside of the precinct. We did it. This is amazing.
How you doing, man?
And here's Eli. Eli is going to precinct after precinct with good guy activism, and he's handing out the court case to educate them so that they can take down their signs, so that the members of the public know, hey, we can come in and we can add layers and layers of transparency and accountability to the NYPD now. Whereas before they told us we couldn't.
What is this? Can you read this for me? I want to know what this is. That's a court order for any signs that you have saying no recording, for you to remove it.
He is performing, Eli and Good Guy Activism are performing a public service for NYPD. Hey, we just in case you haven't heard, we wanted to let you know there's been a court case, there's been a ruling, and a judge has ordered you to take down the signs.
ASAP. All right? Court ruling, NYPD, all the precincts. You guys are blocking the entrance. We're trying to go in to record.
You cannot record in here.
What's that?
She just said you cannot record in here. Let me show you something before we proceed with this video right here. Let me show you the conclusion of this court case. For reasons stated herein, plaintiff, that is Sean Paul Reyes, motion for a preliminary injunction is granted. Defendant, that's NYPD, is hereby enjoined, is urged from enforcing the procedure in NYPD police precinct lobbies, and that's the sign saying you can't exercise your freedom of press and speech in this lobby, except to the extent consistent with the New York State and City Right to Record Acts. And then it says the defendant, NYPD, is further required to remove any signs consistent with this order. This is a command by a judge to tell the NYPD to just go ahead and do the job you're supposed to be doing anyway, and just leave the people alone. Let them be free to do whatever they're going to do in that public lobby with regard to freedom of speech and freedom of press. NYPD is doing this, digging their heels in, because guess what? They're going to appeal it. This is them saying, we don't want that accountability. We don't want that transparency. We don't want the dog public coming into our lobby and recording us as we go along the day and perform our daily duties. We don't want that. Why? Why? You got something to hide, officer? They always say that to you. Hey, why don't you answer our questions? You got something to hide?
Read that. Read before you speak. You hear me? Read before you speak. It's a wrap. It's done.
We want to make sure that those signs get removed.
Exactly. Making sure that you don't have none of those signs over here violating the public.
We don't want you to
violating the judge's order.
We don't want you to get in trouble. So we want to make sure that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're going to make sure that we pull up to all of you and remove those signs. Okay.
So, wait.
What that means? What that means? What are you doing?
You deny me entry to a public building? Why? I'm trying to conduct business as well. That's why I came here.
Right there.
So that lobby is.
Wait there right now.
Am I detained?
Coming in here like this, you can't record anything.
I thought you was reading it, bro.
I don't know. I'm talking to you and I'm reading. So what do you want me to do?
All right, so keep reading.
Listen.
They are actually standing there in violation of a court order telling them specifically not to say what they are now saying to Eli and Good Guy Audis.
Go ahead, do you think?
Me, personally, I want to enter the lobby to ask for complaint forms. We could, though.
This is huge, guys. This is huge. That one man, Sean Paul Reyes, stood toe-to-toe against the largest police force on planet Earth and won. This should make everybody happy, because this right here shows you, hey, it can be done. If it can be done with this, hey, maybe it can be done with that. Maybe we can overturn the income tax laws. Maybe we can take away, maybe we can all get together and stand together and abolish the property tax laws. Maybe we can get rid of the domestic terror cell known as the IRS. Maybe we can institute a sound money system and get away from the fiat currency international petrodollar Ponzi scheme that the international bankers are. Yes, we can. If one man can stand against the largest tyranny police force in the world, then anything can be done. The sky is the limit.
Handed you a proof from a federal judge.
Let him read it. Let him read it. Take your time, bro. Take your time. We're waiting. Can you do one thing for us, though? That sign over there. That sign. Please take it down. Please, for the people.
Come on, do it for the people. Hey, give me time to read. All you got to do is flip to the back, page 27. It's a 27-page document. Flip to page 27 and just read the conclusion. That's all you got to do, officer. If you need help, just call for backup. Call a supervisor. Let him read it to you. You guys read it to each other. Here, I'll wait.
Take your time, relax.
We're conducting business.
Distract us from work. We're working. Okay?
We're
Tell
not.
us to rip down signs and stuff like that.
That's the judge said that. The judge said that.
We'll get it done eventually.
Thank you.
We'll
You do it? That's it? It's a wrap, man. No more dirt work, my people. You heard? Every move they make is going to be recorded.
And now listen very closely to what Eli says, because this is what it really, really comes down to.
Every abuse against the people as well. Now they must be professional, even though they don't like it. You don't know how many times I went to jail for this shit, bro. You don't know how many times I went to jails for this shit, my nigga. That's why y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how many times they threw me in the floor for this shit.
The removal of your rights, your liberty, your property, taking you away from your family, all because all you were doing was acting like an American. You had the audacity to believe that, hey, the supreme law of the land is the Constitution. Embedded in the Constitution is the Bill of Rights. In the Bill of Rights is the First Amendment. And what are the 5 elements and the 5 rights identified as being protected in the First Amendment? Most cops don't even know it. Maybe they'll come up with 1 or 2. They don't know them all. RAPS, R-A-P-P-S, religion, assembly, petition, press, speech. You have the right to freedom of press. You do, because you're an individual. This is your unalienable right. This is your birthright. It's what you were born with. The government didn't give it to you, and the government can't take it away from you. Not legitimately. They constantly try to, and that is a tyrannical government. That's why this is a huge win, because if you add insult to injury, when you go back to what Sean Paul Reyes was doing here, you know what he has in his hand right here? Do you see that? Do you see that piece of paper in Sean Paul Reyes' hand right here? You see that? You know what that piece of paper is? That piece of paper that Sean Paul Reyes has in his hand as he's walking in the 75th precinct in the New York City Police Department, what he has in his hand is the Right to Record Act. And as he's trying to hand them this Right to Record Act, he's being accosted and violated by the very agents who swore they would protect him and protect his right to record. That's how egregious this is. And the fact that the New York City Police Department is taking these signs down grudgingly, that they had to be ordered by a judge in the first place, that they weren't obeying their oath to, let the public do whatever they want to do. A lot of people are saying, yeah, the New York City Police Department is now allowing us to record in their precinct. What? Allowing? Allowing means that they're granting permission, as though they're your overlords and they're your parents, and they have the power to allow you to do something that a right you were born with. You have the perfect right to record. You have the perfect right to say what you want, freedom of speech. You have the perfect right to exercise whatever religion you want to be a participant in. And they have no right, they have no standing to take those rights away. So this idea that, now the New York City Police Department will allow you or permit you to enter their lobbies with a camera, that's nonsense. And we got to step away from that kind of terminology. You have the right, and they have the obligation to protect your right. That's what we should be saying. They are our servants, or supposed to be. We're not theirs. So I'm not going to go over this whole thing right here. There's it's 27 pages. It's definitely worth a read. But when it comes down to it, the conclusion is golden. And this tells me that David went against Goliath and firmly embedded that stone into the forehead of a tyrant. Leave your thoughts about this for the world and the global thought police in the comments section below. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel. Hit the bell notification icon. Give it a thumbs up. Share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. That's highimpactflix.com. Know your rights. Grab a brochure. This link is in the description below too. This is an excellent tool. If you have a problem with going up against tyrants, then just zip your lip and show them this. Tell them, hey, I'm invoking my right to remain silent. That's all you got to say. And that's powerful. Silence is powerful. Freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having it. I'll see you in the next video.